Hello, everyone. My name is Gretchen. Some people call me Miss G. That's good if you want to call me that. I answer to a lot of things. This video is about the collective consciousness, the 100th monkey theory, and the spiritual concept that we are all connected. I want to talk to you a little bit about the rainbow warriors that I mentioned in the past videos. I want to tell you they're worldwide and they come from all walks of life, and they're trying very hard to help everyone reach the fifth dimension. And they come from all beliefs too, with the West being the final battleground, according to prophecy. What happens here will determine how the outcome would be. But more people are needed. So I'm asking you again, you're being called, step up. I also want to say something about the fifth dimension because I mentioned it too and didn't give you any information on it. I mentioned that in a previous video. And some people I don't know what they get. They don't like the word dimension. Okay, so use fifth level, fifth plane, it doesn't really matter. I use spiritually and energetically all the time as one and the same. So I want you to know that the fifth dimension is not a real physical place or even a destination. Well, I guess it is a destination if you want to look at it spiritually, because we're wanting to get to a state of consciousness. So it is a destination for humanity. That's how I look at it. But it is a state of consciousness we're trying to achieve. You can do this by enhancing your DNA through energetic means. And one way is rites of initiation in a spiritual tradition. Letting go of your ego and healing yourself is another. Healing is important. You can actually let go of the ego real quick if you're not stubborn. Resistance determines, remember. The fifth dimension is where you operate from your soul. It is spiritual ascension. It is heaven on earth. And that's been foretold. This is how most of you will understand this. It is the second coming. Maybe that helps a lot of you all. It is a consciousness that everyone will experience, a Buddha or a Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call it, it's okay. Keep in mind, I'm going to end there, but keep in mind I will be making 2 short videos on this information. I will try to give you the concepts and their connections to other areas of study. We will talk about the concept, how we are all connected, and what happens to one will affect us all. And I'll do that briefly because that's in another video with the medicine wheel and the circle and all that stuff. But I need to mention it here because it is part of these 2 also. This concept is also found in modern day psychology in a theory developed by Carl Jung. And it is found in biology by a biologist named Rupert Sheldrake. Today, these concepts are part of what is happening in the world today. They are being used against us. We are under brainwashing techniques, and they're using this theory to do it. And we need to keep in mind these concepts will not work if we get informed, we heal, and we arm ourselves with knowledge. If you don't feel like you're being influenced, then you're definitely being influenced and blinded by what is happening. So let's start. Carl Jung developed a theory in modern day psychology while he was working for Sigmund Freud. He felt humanity, which is all human beings, are connected to a collective consciousness, which means a big group. His studies suggest that we are influenced by this consciousness, and we think we are making free will choices, but I'm going to answer the question, are we? According to his theory, our thoughts, our behaviors, our actions, actually everything about us is being stored in this collective consciousness, and it influences us all the time. The following videos will explain to you how. All 3 theories or concepts are based on the ideal that what everyone is familiar with lately is energy is everything, thoughts are things, and we are what we think and more. I want to put in here too that everything starts spiritually or energetically. This is important because the collective consciousness is energy. And if everything starts spiritually or energetically, then it starts there in the collective consciousness. Today, humanity is spiraling. That's That's how I look at it anyway. Today, humanity is spiraling totally out of control. I am trying to put this information into actually a cohesive process as much as I can and as fast as I can, and I just didn't realize how difficult videos were. So kudos to all you out there that are doing videos. Keep in mind, I want you to keep in mind these theories are saying the same thing, and it is why we are experiencing what I call a backslide in the human consciousness today. These theories are being used against us, like I said, in psychological warfare. With the understanding of these theories or concepts, we can turn this all around. We can, if we can get enough people, we can start breaking up the energetic patterns of abuse, violence, hate, anger, all negative cycles, just by healing ourselves even. This in turn will heal your family and then heal your ancestors. But it must start with you. The below theories will work, but we need a large percentage of people, and I'll explain that in the next video. Carl Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst. He founded analytical psychology, if I recall that correctly. The theory indicates that we are a result of our life's traumas, our life experiences, our genetic inheritances, karma, lessons, our lifestyles, our emotional states, and more. It has everything about us. It is believed that information about each of us is stored and found in this collective consciousness. I do agree with this, by the way, as a healer facilitator myself. I also believe that we do not have to be influenced by this collective consciousness if we have the knowledge and information on how to break ourselves free of the influence, or brainwashing for a more understandable term. We just lost the knowledge and information on how to be sovereign beings. Our goal is to have an understanding of these concepts and ideas to free ourselves of any effects placed upon us by others. Carl Jung's psychological theory on collective consciousness states that we are all connected to a collective consciousness. And if we look at this concept, then it means it is entirely possible we are connected and influenced, as he said, by this. Okay, let me shift and review it to look at another way for those who have trouble understanding or comprehending, or maybe I just said it wrong. In ancient belief systems, this collective consciousness is found as a nature-based matrifocal system with the concepts of we are one, what affects one will affect us all. These are found within the teachings of the medicine wheel, the circle, the web of life, the earth web, and in other spiritual areas and more, which is a separate video in itself. I'm just touching on it here. And it is believed that we develop mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical issues from our connection to this collective consciousness. Our lives are directed by this consciousness, remember, according to Jung. I think this is similar to the karmic effect. This collective consciousness connects us to our ancestors and everyone else through our minds. In essence, we are responsible for our ancestors' actions and what they did. Same as in the phrase, we are responsible for the sins of our fathers. I'm sure you've heard that. It is the same thing. Remember I said the doors were swung open all the way? Yeah, this is why. And I remember saying, it is time for the great cleansing. The great cleansing is talking about this sins of our fathers and the healing of our ancestors. This needs to happen in this lifetime. Just bear with me. We need to heal, and as we heal, you heal your family and your ancestors. I cannot stress this enough. When we do this, we will no longer be responsible, karmically speaking, for the actions they committed. In ancient traditions, they believe we can gain limited access to knowledge and power through this collective, and that we all possess this connection, and all we have to do is learn to access it. It contains the records of all deeds ever done since the beginning of time. Does that sound familiar? This is a concept, I'm sure, behind the Christians' Judgment Day. The ancients, I'm sure, would have called it the Akash or the Akashic Records. Other traditions, I've heard it called Life Review. I'm sure there's more names for this, but that's just 3. Keep in mind other cultures hold similar beliefs related to this as well. This access is shared by all humans. It does not matter what belief you have. This collective consciousness holds universal symbols, signs, patterns on how we act, what we do, and much, much more. These are all inherited through our genetics, through our ancestors. It is claimed that even our sense of right versus wrong, good versus evil, good or bad, morals and ethics, all of that is stored here. It is stamped energetically or spiritually. Keep that in mind. Like an impression. And this energy just ripples out. If you look at what is happening today, then you will see there is an imbalance taking place based on this concept. I will explain the imbalance in the following video. This illusion that we are separate and we act as separate or as single separate entities is because of the gift of free will. But keep in mind, we're just parts of the whole, which is the reason most think we are not connected. The whole means humanity and the rest of creation. Our consciousness is connected to everyone else's through our minds with no time nor space. So in essence, we are all connected, like Jung said. I will end here by saying don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please help me to continue to release this information in supporting me for a small, teeny tiny donation by going to patreon.com to MSGN. Blessings, everyone. Say yes to the call. You're needed. Ooh, really needed. And I will see you soon. And remember to always practice love and kindness to everyone as much as you can. See you soon. On the next video, we'll talk about the 100th monkey theory and go from there. I'll explain a lot, and that connects to this. So I'll see you soon. Bye. Take care.